Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I've been wanting to make this video for weeks now, but just been sick. Family's been sick, and so it hasn't been the time. But based off the reception to the last video showing off the whole collection, the whole office, I wanted to do kind of another follow-up video on the pickups I've had since November of 22 through kind of January here of 23. I've just wanted to show off stuff I've been buying lately over the holidays and Christmas stuff. So, and I think that starts with probably, I think the earliest new game on the collection, Cuphead, physically for the PS4. I now own Cuphead on all the consoles. I've been waiting to play the DLC, Delicious Last Course, and I wanted it physically for the one platform I don't have it on, which is PlayStation. So I'll be able to pursue the platinum, play the DLC, experience all of that. So I finally got this. I snagged it at Best Buy because I had a $10 coupon, and so I was able to get it a little bit cheaper than normal. But I'm so glad to finally have Cuphead physically and play this. I worked on the guide for it for IGN, the base game at least. So I'm thrilled to kind of own a copy of it now. I like to try and own games that I ultimately worked on. See, this is what I'm dealing with. This is a water situation. Big Yosh. We're gonna do the whole thing. This is a little dangerous, I suppose. Water, electronics. Just had my car fixed, and they had free water, so I took the water. The Yosh. These next two are a bit more recent pickups, and I'll explain why. I'm not doing this in the order I got them. I kind of have a narrative I'm trying to tell here. So first up, Res Infinite from I Am 8-Bit. This is the eco-friendly edition, eco edition. I don't know what it's called. It's got funkier packaging, and it's actually not as. I think it's a little thinner or wider, or it's thinner or taller than a normal PlayStation box, so it kind of bugs me a little bit. But I snagged this because they confirmed that the PS5 was going to, you could upgrade to a PS5 version of Res for PSVR 2 and all that jazz. So I wanted to kind of finally get this game physically. But there's a theme of VR you'll notice kind of throughout, and this was one of those VR games. I haven't opened it yet. I love the orange. Corey, what's his name? Dang it. The designer, he helped make this box. Corey, I want to say Schmitz, but I don't think that's it. So anyway, snag Res. I already have Tetris Effect, so I'm excited to add this to the collection and for their next game coming out someday, Humanity, whenever that comes out. The other game, also from I Am 8-Bit, and I snagged it just to save on the shipping. I've wanted this for a while, which is Inside. I played it on Xbox digitally, but I wanted a physical version, and I wanted it on PlayStation, trophies and all that jazz. You can buy Inside with Limbo, but I think the box is ugly. I wanted just Inside. I think it's cleaner. There's apparently some stuff in the box. I haven't opened it yet, but yeah, I'm so happy to finally have just snagged this with Res, save on the shipping, and I have that. I've actually been really meaning to replay Inside. These are both limited still, but they're still for sale, at least as of this recording. So numbered, I don't know what the count is on these editions. I think Inside's only maybe 1,000 or 2,000 copies, but it's been in stock for a while now. So I think you're okay. Okay. So the next three games I got in a buy two get one deal at a local mom and pop. And so this is the VR theme right here. PSVR 2 is coming, VR is on the mind. Not that any of these PSVR 1 games are going to work on PSVR 2 as it stands right now. None of these games except Res are confirmed for PSVR 2, but I still wanted to pick these up because I don't really have a physical VR collection. I suppose, I mean, I have Blood and Truth, I think. Dreams. I've got Tetris Effect. I grabbed Doom 3 VFR for free. They had a $5 coupon and it was for sale for $5 at GameStop. So I got that for free because that was physically limited only to GameStop. Wild. Anyway, the actual pickup. Batman Arkham VR. Always loved this detective kind of small game. Weird that this is Rocksteady's last game until We get Suicide Squad later this year, which might come up a little bit later. It's just such an odd game. I'd love it's still only on PS4. It's not on PC or anything like that. I'd love to see it get at least ported to PC or brought up on PSVR 2. I think eye tracking would be kind of dope, but I think this experience is this is it. This is all it will ever be. The one game the next two games I think actually couldn't come to PSVR 2. Uh, Astrobot Rescue Mission, an absolute must play VR game. A fan of the medium, really. You should play Astrobot, and I think it needs to come to PSVR 2. I am surprised we don't have a new Astrobot game announced yet for PSVR 2, especially since the PS5 launched with Astro's Playroom, I think was what that one was called. So finally happy to snag this. So those are two I bought, and then now moving on to the next gen and the same gen, Hitman 3. Finally snagged Hitman 3, and I mean, major props to IO Interactive. Major props for how they've handled everything, but when you buy the PS5 version, you also get the PS4 version or vice versa. So you get the free upgrade if you're coming from last gen, or you get the downgrade to last gen if you're on PS5 but you want to play it in VR because you have to play the PS4 version, that whole disaster. But with the recent announcement that Hitman 3, 2, and 1 are all becoming one game, The World of Assassination, and if you own 3 or any of the previous ones, it kind of all melds. So I finally just wanted to snag a copy of it. I haven't played 3 yet. I would love to play it in VR, and I think the fidelity of PSVR 2, like mirroring this experience on PC, as I understand it in VR, is pretty dope. So bringing that over to PSVR 2, I think would be the way to play it for me at least. I think PSVR 1 not really going to cut it for this for me. This feels like a new game. I want new hardware. I want to play this on PSVR 2. So, here's hoping. As of this recording, no announcement, but I'm excited to have all of the World of Assassination on my PS5 and to be able to go back another series of games that, or at least the first game I helped do the guide for the first 3 episodes before they canceled the project because Hitman wasn't doing traffic. Now look at it. So, kind of a funny and interesting thing. But Gotham Knights. We're now entering the Black Friday kind of deal buying. Why did I buy Gotham Knights? Because my friend Logan wanted to play it with me. We've played once. We really need to get back to it. Our plan is to try and beat this before Suicide Squad and then play Suicide Squad together. Just kind of fun co-op game for the both of us. I chose Batgirl, I think, and I think he's Nightwing, I think. Neither one of us wanted to be Red Hood or Robin, I guess. So we just ended up picking Batgirl and Nightwing, which are in the front middle of the box anyway. So it's a game so far. The tutorial was very long before you could get to co-op. Yeah, I'm curious about more, and I'm nervous about Suicide Squad. So we shall see how that all shakes out. But if we started that, Stray. I did not buy this from IM 8-bit, but I know that they printed and published. They didn't publish, but they printed the physical version. Somehow nominated for Game of the Year. Stray looks fun. I don't know, and I have to play it, but I don't know how this was nominated for Game of the Year so many times. So I've got to dive into the cat game. I'm curious. I haven't opened it yet, but my new policy is I don't open a game until I'm gonna play it. That way I can see all the shiny plastic on my wall and think of how much money I've spent without actually playing anything. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga Collection. This just hit the right price, and between that and Shredder's Revenge, which I have on PS4, really wish the PS5 version was announced earlier because I would have bought Shredder's Revenge on PS5 instead. But I love these types of games, fond memories of my childhood, so it was just nice to get the Cowabunga collection. And then another one that just hit the right price, Persona 5 Royal PS5 Steelbook Edition. So uh, someday when I'm brave enough to replay Persona 5, because I've only played the base version,
One eternity later.
I will be able to play the Royale version that everyone seems to love. I can learn more about Akechi and the mysterious protagonist lady. So I don't even know what her name is. But it's nice to have it on PS5 and the Steelbook to go with the other Steelbook that I have. We now leave the realm of PlayStation and we're getting ready to enter the Nintendo side of things. A couple of things from Christmas, a couple of pre-orders finally being cashed in, as it were, just and then a Nintendo DS kick that I've been on lately in the pickups. So let's dive in to the Nintendo part of my pickups. Resident Evil Zero. Still have the price tag on it. I paid $25 for it. I think I could have got a better deal. But I digress. I bought it from my favorite local mom and pop, Royal Empire Gaming. If you're in Central Florida at all, you got to go there. But this is by far one of my favorite games that we've been playing on Chapter Select Season 5, which is all about Resident Evil. Actually, at least as of this recording, this is the next episode to go up. So I'm excited to talk about it. And after playing it, I had to buy it on GameCube, and so I got a complete in box copy. Little the box is a little rough around the edges, a little beat up, but everything looks good. The discs run fine. I love Billy and Rebecca's Adventure, so I'm happy to add that to the collection. I also have Resident Evil on GameCube, so now really, I guess over time the goal would be to get 2, 3, and Code Veronica, and 4. Duh, 4 of course. So time to bring out the Yosh. But those games are wildly expensive, and I'm just one thing at a time, trying to be smart. Wait till you see the DS games I bought. These, they were very expensive. Splatoon 3 finally is entered the collection. I did not get this at launch. Couldn't really afford it at the time. I had to be pretty focused. So this was a Christmas gift from my in-laws. So thank you so much. I'm excited to finally play this. I have the Splatoon 3 Switch OLED. My wife let me graciously upgrade that process, which panned out, worked out evenly. So I'm excited to really sink my teeth into becoming a Squid Kid again because I love Splatoon. I just couldn't afford it at the time. And then, last but not least, Shredder's Revenge Collector's Edition from Limited Run. You heard me earlier. I have Shredder's Revenge already on PS4. I got that for I think $25 on Amazon or something. PS4 seems to be the best running version outside of PC. Sounds like there were some Switch issues, but I bought the Switch Collector's Edition A because it was before release and we didn't know how it would perform, and B, it's the right size for a VHS tape. PlayStation, not a VHS sized thing. A Switch case is VHS. So I went for authenticity in this fake world. The packaging is really sweet. It looks like an old tape. The sides even got the logos. They even did LRG kind of in that old. I forget. I guess kind of like the WB Kids style. So this is just a really neat package. There is a pizza coupon in here. I'm gonna have to get out eventually. I still gotta redeem the PS4 one. I kind of want to do that maybe on a stream, like redeem that particular pizza, eat pizza, and play Turtles. I think that would be pretty fun. But that pre-order finally showed up. I think I only have one. I have one pre-order from Limited Run left that hasn't been cashed in. River City Girls 2, and I think Inscription from Special Reserve. But enough of that. It's time for the last four, and they're all Nintendo DS games. I I'm just been longing for that period in my life, I guess. And so I've been taking, some money that we've been saving up on the side, some Christmas money, and I've been buying some DS games. And then one of them I got today. But we're gonna start with the game I got alongside Resident Evil Zero. If I may say, pristine copy of Star Fox Command, complete in box, also from Royal Empire Gaming. I always wanted this game. Always wanted it. A buddy of mine had it, Tony. Shout out to Tony. But I never got it as a kid. I don't know why. And I saw this and it's in immaculate condition. All the paperwork is in here. The cartridge logo is clean and sharp. It's just I couldn't pass it up. And it was only like $40, which I kind of thought it would be more expensive. But it was in fantastic shape, and I couldn't say no. The guy who runs the store said it had only been up for a few hours, like out on the floor. So I got there at the right time to kind of finally fulfill this childhood dream of mine of getting this particular game. And speaking of fulfilling childhood dreams, this was a Christmas gift that I was able to get for myself. The family does scratchers every year, and I won $50. And so I took that $50 and some more of my own money, and I finally completed my Ace Attorney collection, on the DS at least. Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. This was a game I saw spread in a Nintendo Power copy, which is probably in that closet somewhere. And I was like, that's so cool. I could be Edgeworth, the prosecutor, solve murders. Never bought it. I bought all the other ones, and I never ever picked this one up. And it's haunted me since because it's very expensive to get this game. But once again, Royal Empire coming through. This one doesn't have any of the other like supplemental paperwork that Nintendo would have included, but it does have the manual and the cartridge, of course, again in pristine condition. This one is one of the cases that doesn't have the top, but it does have the official Nintendo DS logo and Nintendo embroidered behind this, so it is a real case. I'm happy to finally have this. It was $100. It just feels good, you know. It just feels good to complete the Ace Attorney collection officially. Think they solved their problem. The last two. This one was sometime last month. I forget. Oh, this was when I was buying the buy two get ones. I had more money to spend, and so I made this move. This is entirely inspired by Matt from I Finished a Video Game, who did a 7.5 hour retrospective history analysis dive on the Castlevania series. Matt was on my podcast, Max Frequency Podcast. So, he's put me in this Castlevania mood. I finished the show. I, you know, we're there. And so the one game, and there were a lot of games, there was over 30 games, but there was one game that I could not believe I hadn't heard more about in my time. I always hear about Symphony Night, Rondo of Blood, the Game Boy Advance game, Circle of the Moon, Aria of Sorrow. And the one that I really am surprised I haven't heard a ton about is Order of Ecclesia. A DS game. I knew the DS had a good run as far as gameplay goes. Matt's history is actually looks at that DS time very interesting, but this was really a return to form, and I think, if I remember correctly, Igarashi's last Castlevania game. But this game, I don't want to spoil it. I mean, spoil it. I haven't played it. And what is this from? 2006 or so? At least is the copyright on here. But holy smokes, the story in this game and the gameplay and the reveals and the surprises that you would expect from a Castlevania game. Oh my gosh, this game sounded so cool. So I saw it at a local shop and I was just like, I gotta get it. I have to buy this one. And this is absolutely the game I'm gonna snag. It did not come with the manual. I've looked up the manual separately. It's like $50 and it's 6 pages. I'm not too torn up about that one. I might repro the manual. We don't know. But the box, the art, and the cart are all real. So I'm happy to have this to the collection and eventually play it someday. So it's another, like, holy smokes, can't believe it. But another expensive. DS games are getting expensive, man. They're getting a little wild. It kind of pairs in line with the GameCube a little bit and the Wii. The Wii stuff is getting ready to skyrocket. The Wii, pew, gonna go. And then the last game. This one I've been hunting for a long time. It gets more and more expensive, and I pulled the trigger today as I'm recording this. Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. It's like the one Zelda game I don't. I mean, there are a couple I don't have, I guess, but what do I not have? I guess I don't own a copy of Zelda 2. I have Zelda 1. I have Link to the Past multiple times. This is one of few I'm missing. We'll say that. Complete in box Spirit Tracks. Apparently also out on the floor for like a day. Complete in box, all the supplemental manual material. It's in good shape. I've had opportunities to buy this. I should have bought this in the past. I was a huge fan of Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass was my first Zelda game back after my parents had said no, you can't play Zelda. So a super soft spot for this DS era of Zelda and Wind Waker adjacent as well, which was my second return, game back. I I've played Spirit Tracks a little bit, borrowed it from a high school girlfriend at the time, and I couldn't get past the whistle blowing mechanic. So I'm a little worried about replaying that eventually and struggling with that mechanic. But I just it feels good to be whole, you know. Feels good to have the Zelda games all together in physical form in one way or another. Yeah. You saw the shelf in the video. There's a lot going on here. So happy to add Phantom Hourglass, and that completes my pickups. This sack of games has been sitting on my desk for 3 4 weeks, and it's been like 2 weeks of prep and thinking of how I wanted to shoot this, and then 2 weeks of being sick. And so I want the pile off the desk, and I wanted to make this video for you. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this style, which was just kind of straight on with the new setup and instead of walking around the office and stuff. So let me know what you think of that. I would appreciate it, and let me know what you think of these pickups. What have you all been picking up at your mom and pops? What new games have you been buying and coming out? I haven't bought a lot of new stuff lately. I think the next new game I'll buy is probably Resident Evil 4 remake. So I've been kind of savoring some older stuff lately in the purchasing sphere. So, but thank you so much for watching. If you'd like, you can subscribe. You can go check out my writing at maxfrequency.net. Over there, I've got some podcasts, the Max Frequency podcast, which I talked to Matt. I've talked to Javid Starrett, who does the Hyrule Journals here on YouTube. He just put out his documentary on Majora's Mask, so I've got an interview with him. I've got an interview coming up I recorded right before I was sick, so that episode will be primed hopefully soon. You know, finally feeling better. And then Chapter Select, which is also here on YouTube. We're doing Resident Evil right now. Resident Evil 0 is the next episode. We're getting ready to record Resident Evil 3, so we're just having a great time over there. And be sure to check out that show as well. But until next time, adios.